Hi, year 10. So we are going to do some online lessons from now on. Okay, first of all, before any online lesson, please get your pens and notebook ready for the lesson because you need to write and also you need to try some exercise with me. That will help your understanding, right? Okay, and also you can stop or pause the video at any time if you feel you need more time to think about it. Okay, you just stop it, and that's the advantage of using video, right? Okay, so let's start. Okay, so for today's video we are going to do binomial expansions. Okay, so first we need to understand what do we mean by binomial. Okay, binomial is just a word from polynomial. Okay, binomial means an expression of two terms. For example, if you have um, x plus 3, so that two terms. Okay, so this is a binomial. This is a binomial. Okay, so that's what we call binomial expansion. So today we are going to do, if I got two binomials, how could I expand them? But before we go to that part, we need to review something we have learned before in year 9 or year 9 or year 8. That's about the distributive law. Okay, I I bet all of you should understand how to do a distributive law. Okay, so I just show you briefly what we are talking about. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so that's what we call. Um, so I need to copy things here. Okay, so that's what we call a distributive law. Okay, it means if you multiply a to a bracket of two things, okay, so if you remember that, so normally we skip the multiplication sign here, but actually that's multiplication sign. And when you want to expand, okay, expand means you multiply that a into the bracket to each term in the brackets, okay, and then you can remove the brackets and becomes an expanded form. Okay, so the form on the right hand side is what we call a expanded form. Expanded form. Okay, and the form on the left hand side is what we call a factor form. Okay. Okay, so if you still remember that, that's a reverse process. If we goes from left hand side to right hand side, it's called expand. If we goes from um, if we goes sorry, in the opposite direction, it's called factorization, right? So it's called factorization. Okay, we are going to learn factorization later on, but now we focus on expansion. Okay, so that's what we have learned. Okay, so let's do some very quick exercise about expand the following expression. So that's a one single term against a binomial. So that's one single term multiplied by binomial. So in this case, we are going to use distributive law. Okay. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, so if that's one, we are going to expand. Remember that when we are going to expand, you need to multiply that 4 to both terms in the brackets. Okay, so that's what we are going to get. That's 4 times x plus 4 times 6. Okay, and remember that when you got 4 times x, normally we skip that times, we skip that multiplication sign. We just write 4x and 4 times 6, 24. Okay, okay, so that won't be too difficult. All right, so how about the second one, b? Okay, here we need to be a bit careful about the minus sign, both outside the bracket and inside the bracket. Okay, so let's emphasize that's minus sign. Okay, still you are going to multiply that's minus y to the terms inside. Okay, so let's see how could we do it. Okay, first I'm going to multiply that's minus y times 2x. Okay, then I'm going to multiply that's minus y to that's minus 3y. Okay, be a bit careful here. So because that's a minus y multiply another minus, so we understand that if you got minus multiply another minus, it would be positive, right? So that's basically the rule of multiplication between different signs. Okay, so you got minus y times 2x, that's 1 minus, 1 positive, so it becomes minus. But if you multiply that's minus y to that's minus 3y, the two negative, it becomes positive. Okay, so the sign here is positive. So minus y times minus 3y becomes y times 3y. Okay, so we need to simplify that a little bit. We all know that in algebraic expressions, you need to write the numbers in front of the symbols, and also you need to rearrange the order such that it follows a natural alphabetical order. Okay, so that means for the first term, you need to rewrite it as 2xy, okay, in alphabetical order. Okay, and y times 3y, so that means 3y times y, but y times y means what? Y times y means y squared, right? So you need to rewrite that as y squared. Okay, so then that's it. Alright, so if you want to familiarize yourself for that distributive law right now, please go to do some questions in practice 1. Actually, I recommend you, at least you need to do the A, D, G, J for the first column. If you have more problem, you need to do more of it. Okay, after you have done it, you go to the end of the notes. There are some answers for all the practices. Okay, you can do it now. You can stop the video if you think you need more time to do the revision. Alright, okay. And alright, okay, so if you are okay with a previous section, then we are going to do explanation of binomial expansions. Okay, we need to explain that. How do we do binomial expansions? First, let's think about if we are not using polynomials, we're using like numbers, what are we going to do? Okay, so let's see. If I write a bracket, okay, 1 plus 3 times 2 plus 4, okay, so normally what we're going to do, okay, the simplest way, of course, is always if that's only the numbers, okay, you can always do like 1 plus 3 is 4, 2 plus 4 is 6, so that's 24, isn't it? Okay, so that's the easiest way. But could we do it another way? Instead of add the numbers in the bracket, can we just multiply the numbers from one bracket to the other? Okay, let's consider. Okay, let me draw a rectangle. Okay, and I'm going to divide that rectangle into 4 portions. Okay, so let's say for this division is called, because the scale is not perfect, right? So that's 1, 3. Okay, and for the other triangle, let's say is another rectangle is like this. Okay, let's say this one is 4. This one is 2. This one is 4. Of course, the scale is not perfect. Okay, so we know that the side of the length of the rectangle will be just 2 plus 4, 6, and the width of that rectangle 6. Okay, so basically that's area will be 4 times 6 equal 24, right? Just like what we have done before. You add all the parts of the length and all that of width, and then multiply together, you get the area. Okay, but do we have other ways to do it? Yeah, let me consider this. Okay, let me subdivide this into 4 different colors. Okay, alright, so we have different colors. Okay, let's see. For this portion, I'm going to use 1 becomes 1 times 2, right? And for this portion, it becomes 1 times 4. And for this portion, it becomes 3 times 2. And for this one, 3 times 4. Okay, so how about we add all 4 sub-rectangles together, so they should have the same area as the total area of the biggest rectangle. Can you see that? Okay, 1 plus 1 times 2 is 2. That's 4. That's 6. That's 12. So if we add all these numbers together, what do we get? Okay, if we add 2 plus 6 plus 4 plus 12. Okay, you still get the same answer, right? Like this one. Okay, so that means there's at least another way to find the area. Okay, so what's the implication for the things here? Okay, so that means for the multiplication of 2 binomials with numbers, we can do it like this. You can multiply that's 1 with 2, and also that's 1 with 4, and then you multiply that's 3 with 2, and that's 3 with 4. Okay, you just make sure each term in the first bracket is multiplied by all the terms in the second bracket. Okay, let me repeat that because that's really important. You make sure you multiply each term in the first bracket with all the terms in the second bracket. Okay, so there are 2 terms in the first bracket, 2 terms in the second bracket. So that should be 4 multiplications, right? Just like the area here, there are 4 parts of the area. Okay, so if we carry on doing this, we'll see 1 times 2 plus 1 times 4 plus 3 times 2 plus 3 times 4, just like what we have done for the rectangle, and you add all these sub-rectangles together to get the same amount of the area as the biggest rectangle. Okay, so you see the idea. Basically, if we have 2 binomials multiplied together, all you need to do is to multiply each term in the first bracket with all the terms in the second bracket. Okay? Alright, so how about if we are not using numbers, if we use letters? That's what I show you in our notes. Okay, so you see this one. Okay, so here we show another rectangle. It's very similar to the one with numbers. Okay, in this case, the area of the rectangle can be represented by 2 ways. The first way, you could say, okay, so the area, we could do it like A plus B times C plus D, right? Of course, you have to bracket them. Second way is you can multiply each part of the side and part of the width, you got 4 rectangles. So the other way to do it is to multiply each smaller rectangle together, AC, AD plus BC plus BD. Okay? So you see, they must be the same because they are referring to the same rectangle, right? So they are the same, all right? Okay, so that's basically the idea. So if we have 2 binomials multiplied together, how could we get it expanded? Okay, so the purpose is to get this form the product of 2 binomials. So this is what we call expansion of expanded form of 2 binomials. Okay, so that's basically the idea. Next, we are going to show you how could we remember this by using a acronym called FOIL. Okay, so this is what we call FOIL method. Okay, so let's first write the product of 2 binomials. Okay, let's first write A plus B times C plus D. Okay, sometimes we don't write that times because that's in polynomials. Okay, how could we get all the terms? Remember how many terms are we going to get? How many subrectangles? If you still remember, there are 4 subrectangles, so that means you should have 4 terms. And okay, so let's see how each term can we get from that FOIL method. Okay, first, okay, so F refer to first. First multiply the first term in each bracket. Okay, so that means it goes from the first term of the first bracket to the first term of the second bracket. So that's the first one. So let me write the answer as A times C over here. Okay, and then the second one, the outer, multiply the 2 outer terms. Outer means which for the first bracket should be the first term, for the second bracket should be second term, because that means outer in the sense of the shape of the 2 brackets. Okay, so let's use another color. Okay, so that's our outer terms. Okay, outer terms means A times D, and then because A is positive, there is nothing in front of it, and D, there's a plus sign, so positive. So it's positive times positive, so that means positive A times D. Okay, and how about the third? Is inner. Okay, let me use another color. Inner means multiply the 2 inner terms. What do we mean inner? If A is the outer, then B is the inner term of the first bracket. And if D is the outer term for the second bracket, C will be the inner term of the second bracket. Okay, so again, we're going to use that B times C. And both are positive, so we add them. And the last one, okay, and the last one is also the last. Multiply the last terms in each bracket. The last term in each bracket. B will be the last term in the first bracket. D will be the last term in the second bracket. Okay, so okay, these 2 colors too similar. Let me use another one. Okay, so again, both terms are positive plus B times D. Okay, so how many terms are there? There are 5 terms. There are 4 terms. All right, and make sure you see each term in the first bracket has been multiplied by multiplied by all the terms, in the second bracket. So there are 4 terms. Okay, you see how could we remember this? This is what we call FOIL. First, outer, inner, last. First, outer, inner, last. Okay, possibly you need to take some time to remember the way we multiply them. All right, if you need so, please pause the video to take a minute or so to familiarize yourself the idea. Okay. Okay, so if you are okay, let's proceed with some examples. Okay, so there are two examples here. For the first one, okay, it's like this. So what's the question about? It's about expand and simplify. So expand means you need to get into expanded form. Okay, simplify means after you expand them, some like terms you need to collect. All right. Okay. First, let's apply that for your method. Okay, I possibly need to make it bigger. Okay. Longer at least, so it's easier for me to write. Okay. So still remember the for your method. Okay. Right. Let's see the for method first. First term in the first bracket to the first term in the second bracket. So that's x times x, right? So that's the first term. And for you means O is outer. Okay, the outer term of the first bracket is the first term. The outer term, the second bracket is the second term, right? So that's outer. Okay, and okay, I need to rewrite that's for you. And that's second. Okay, remember you need to think about the plus sign, minus sign, because that's plus, x also positive, so it should be plus. Okay, x times 5, alright, x times 5. Okay, that's O, that means outer. Okay, and then I means inner is here. Okay, so it's inner. Okay. Inner is positive, x is also positive, so positive 3 times x. Okay, that means inner, and the last is the last. Okay, last means the last term of the first bracket and the last term of the second bracket. Okay, so this one. Okay, so that's what we call last. Okay, have we finished? No, because you need to simplify them. Okay, x times x is x squared. X times 5, okay, it would be much better if we write 5x plus 3x plus 15. Have we finished? Are we done here? No, because you still have like terms. Remember, these two terms are what we call like terms, because both of them using the simple numeral x, the term of x. Okay, so here we have x squared plus 5 plus 3, 8x plus 15. Okay, so that would be the answer, right? Okay, okay, let's do another one. For this one, it'd be difficult because you got minus sign there, so you need to be a bit careful about the minus sign. Okay, let's rewrite this again here. And also I need to make it bigger. Alright. Okay, let's do it again. How about the first term? Okay, you might pause the video actually. You can try yourself. You can try to do it by yourself first, and then you track against my coming answer, right? And you can see how much you've understood. All right? Okay. So let's find the first for you. Okay. So that's the first one. All right. So that's 2x times x. It's a big difference than previous one, because previous one is the easiest one. So this one will increase the difficulty level a little bit. Alright, so that's what we call first. Okay, and how about I should use another color, right? Anyway, this time I just confuse you with the color code a little bit. Okay, and then for this one, okay, be a bit careful now, because it's coming the so-called O outer 2x times minus 2. So think about 2x is positive, minus 2 is negative. So when you have positive times negative, what do you get? Gets negative, right? Okay, so that will be our second term. It will be negative 2x times 2. Okay, so that's our O. Okay, and then it comes to this one. Okay, and that would be that would be minus 3 times x. So that's minus, and the other is positive. So that's minus 3x, isn't it? Okay, to be careful about the sign, right? And the last term would be okay, could be that's 3 times that's minus 2. Okay, so that's the last term, right? Okay, so be a bit careful how many negative sign. When you think about this 3 times 2 is wrong, you should think about this as negative 3 times negative 2. So it's actually negative 3 times negative 2. What sign you should add? You should change it into positive sign because there are two negative things times together, right? So it's positive 3 times 2. Okay, right? So remember, you need to simplify that a little bit. Okay, 2x times 2, that means 4x minus 3x plus 6. Okay, how about minus 4x minus 3x? These two are like terms, right? So these two are like terms. Okay, and think about minus 4 minus 3 is minus 7, isn't it? Alright, minus 7x plus 6. Okay. Okay, so that's the other question we've done. Alright, so we've tried these two examples. So possibly it would be the time for you to do some examples here. Alright, so that's practice 2. That's exercise 7.2. Okay, question 2. Okay, again, I will recommend you to do at least these 4 questions to track your understanding. So there are terms which with negative sign. Okay, you need to make sure you understand how to deal with minus sign. Okay, sometimes minus times positive, sometimes positive times minus, sometimes minus times minus. You need to understand the rule. Okay, possibly we need to spend some time on it before we go to our last part of the video. Okay, you might just pause the. Okay, so if you've done the previous exercise and if you failed, you are ready for the last part, then okay, you can carry on. Okay, otherwise you should stop here and try to understand the previous part. I really don't want to confuse you with example 4 because you haven't understood all the things required in example 3. Okay, example 4 is very similar to example 3. Instead of we have extra numbers in front of the 2 brackets. So what should we do with it? The idea is to leave that number in front of all brackets to the end. After you do all the expansion of the 2 binomials, and then if you finished the product, the expansions of binomials, then you multiply that 3 into the bracket. Okay, so let's see how could we do it. Okay. Okay, remember, you don't need to worry about that 3 at this stage. All you need to do is to focus on the 2 binomials, okay, following that 3, okay? So again, we need to do the FOIL, okay? First one, this one, okay? So let me write that as x times 2x. Okay, that's 4. Okay, that's first one. And O, the outer term. What color? Okay, so make sure I get the color code right this time. That's O, that means outer, right? Outer. Okay, that's x times positive 5, so both are positive. So we are quite happy with x times 5. Okay, and I means inner. Okay, so that means inner. Okay, be a bit careful here now. That's minus 3. It's not just 3. Minus 3 times 2x. 2x is positive. So minus times positive. It should be negative. You need to check. Okay? 3 times 2x. And the last one is last. Okay? Okay, so that's the last one. Okay, so it's minus 3 times positive 5. Again, it should be negative, right? Okay, so basically we've done the FOIL for the two binomials. But how about that 3? So that 3 is still here. Okay, how about this 3? Okay, remember you should still keep that 3 because nothing has been done for that 3. But you can't just write 3 times all these things, right? So what should we do? You should add a bracket, okay? Because you've done all the multiplication for the two binomial expressions, so you should add brackets, okay, between that 3 and the whole expressions, all right? Okay, remember, all you need to do is to use FOIL for the two binomials. You expand them. After your expansion, add a bracket to protect them from the multiplication of 3. Okay? Okay, let's simplify the things inside the bracket. X times 2x, 2x squared plus 5x minus 6x minus 15. Okay? So the things inside the bracket still you have something to do. These two terms are like terms. Positive 5 minus 6 minus 1. Alright? So 2x squared minus 1x. Of course, we don't need to write that's 1. Minus 15. Okay? Then, how about that 3? Remember, when you use that 3, you need to multiply that 3 into the bracket. And if you have bracket, you got 3 outside, you need to apply the distributive law. Remember this? You still need to apply the distributive law. Distributive law means you need to multiply that 3 not just to the first term but to every term in the bracket. Okay, so that's what you are going to do. You are going to multiply that 3 to all the things in the bracket because that's what we call distributive. You need to distribute that 3 to every term. Okay, so that means 3 times 2x squared minus 3 times x minus 3 times 15. Okay, that's 6x squared minus 3x minus 45. Okay, so all the things are quite similar to what we have been doing. The only exception is that you need to handle that 3. Okay, first you need to do the binomial expansion without that 3, and then after you simplify all the things for that binomial expansion, you multiply the 3 into the bracket using distributive law again for the 3 terms in the bracket. Okay, so the answer will look like this. Okay, so if you are happy with the things here, possibly you should be able to do some exercise in practice 3. Okay, so and track your answer here, alright, in the last page. Okay, so your assignment, your homework will be all the practice 1, practice 2, practice 3. Of course, if you don't have time, you can't finish all of them. At least you do the question I said, you at least try to do the things, right? Okay, there are some questions which is the minimum requirement for you guys to try them. Of course, I really think you need to try more than that. Okay, okay. So that's for today's lesson. If you have any problems, you can go to the collaboration area in the OneNote, and also if you finish your homework, take photos and and send the photos to the homework folders in your OneNote account. Right? Thanks for your thanks for your help, and thanks for your watching. Okay, we'll see you next time.